What a jam-packed week of wrestling with SmackDown Friday night, last night, Saturday night's main event, Monday Night Raw, of course, tomorrow night. We've got NXT, we've got another episode of SmackDown, and then we have the Clash in Italy PLE coming to you next Sunday. Don't forget, I believe it is Sunday, not Saturday. So a bit of a change there, back to the old routine of Sundays, but a lot is going on. A lot is happening, tough to keep up with, along with all the other side news and things going on. And we'll try to jam pack as much as we can into this episode. But if you didn't catch the SmackDown review and you want a detailed review of that from someone not me, you can go to our previous episode, which is Amanda's review of SmackDown. So check that out if you want to hear someone other than me, and that's always a good thing. So, all right. Oh, and the main event review. That is coming to you tomorrow night from Daniel in Australia. So check that out as well. So, man, oh man, I mean, NXT reviews coming. Lots and lots. Previews for Clash in Italy, mailbag, you name it. Videos this week. We are going to be posting nearly daily, if not daily, next week. Whether it's a retro episode or a new one. It's going to be a busy week. So prepare yourself, as everyone I hope is enjoying this Memorial Day weekend and has time off of work and has time with family and friends. I know for my specific area, the weather has been pretty damn horrible. Rain, cold, feels like October. They're even saying next weekend up in the mountains here, snow. I'm not shitting you. So take that for what it's worth here. But hopefully wherever you are, you've had good weather, enjoying your time off from work, and hang back and listen to this episode of pretty much this week in review, but it's mostly Saturday night's main event, a little bit of SmackDown thrown in. We'll see how much I can get through on this episode. And if you want to go on Patreon and join us ad-free, do that, because it's a experience that I think you'll enjoy without any of the ads. Patreon.com/WWE podcast, of course, is the place that you can visit. So let's dive in. Let's go to the Saturday night main event first, and then we'll kind of pick and choose, cherry pick, if you will, the rest of the episode on the big events of the week that didn't happen on Saturday night's main event, and all the news and SmackDown and everything else. So Saturday night's main event came to us from Fort Wayne, Indiana, at the Allen County War Memorial Coliseum. I don't want to say that 5 times fast. That's a wordy name. But Michael Cole joined us. He said the attendance was 10,714. Wade Barrett was on commentary with him as his co-announcer, his caller. Lillian Garcia, always good to hear her. So we had the first match of the night. Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, and Alexa Bliss take on Jade, B-Fab, and Michin in a 6-woman tag team match. The match, as far as time stamped goes, let me get the time here. 16 minutes and 45 seconds. This may be a record for the longest women's tag team match of all time. I say that half seriously. It is nice that they gave the women this much time, and they better have given them this much time, given the fact that it's a halfway PLE. It's kind of like a poor man's PLE. And I have to say, with these Saturday night main events, they don't feel like a main event. They feel like just a pure wrestling show, which, not a complaint, by the way. The wrestling on the show, I think, was generally good. And it doesn't include a lot of the shenanigans that the typical PLEs do. But it feels like a Walmart version of a PLE. It's not quite a regular show. It's not quite a crescendo to anything. It's not really a PLE. It's the redheaded stepchild of PLEs. And since they've incorporated these randomly throughout the year as fillers, as stepping stones to real PLEs, I've had mixed feelings on them. The name of the event does not really coincide with what you actually get. It's not truly a main event. They may as well just call it Saturday Night Wrestling, because that's kind of what it is. It's not a main event. There's no big title matches. I don't know. I mean, again, I appreciate the efforts and all the rest of it, but all right. Anyway, let's get into it. And this matchup here again was 16 minutes and 45 seconds with Jade and her team, BFAB and Michin, winning. That was a bit surprising given that Jade on SmackDown got the upper hand. Not always a tried and true rule, but it is one that usually holds true. Jade got the victory and beats Rhea with her finish. Yes, there was a bit of an out for Rhea. Her and Charlotte had the kind of heartwarming moment, and then Alexa gets in the middle of them for some kind of weird photo op, and then Rhea is distracted, lets her guard down. Jade comes out of nowhere and hits Riptide and gets the victory. So it's an out for Rhea, but also that's something that she should be aware of and not do at this point in her career. She's a veteran. So there is an out, but not really at the same time. Either way, big victory for Jade. Huge victory as they head into their match at Clash in Italy. By the way, full preview and prediction coming later this week, as promised. The match, though, was good. This was a match that set the tone for the rest of the show, and I think it did its job. Even for BFAB, me and Michin, a lot of at this point, they're throwaway characters. There's not a lot to them. It's nice that Jade has the star power to be able to give others the rub a little bit. She's in that position. That's good. That's what you want. But this match was really good. And when Jade got in the ring, hey, she didn't look like she had a lot of ring rust on her. I know she doesn't compete a whole lot, but these long form matches are great for her. This is what I want to see from Jade. She has had more growth in the last couple of months than in the last couple of years. So I don't have a lot of complaints for this match. And the analysis, according to Pro Wrestling Net, always shout out to them. They said, a very good opening match. They did a nice tease of a future Jade versus Flair match, and the finish sends Jade into her women's championship match with a pinfall victory over Rhea. The Flair and Jade teaser spot didn't get a big reaction from the crowd, but I'm sure that won't be an issue once they start their actual program. Anyone who has been frustrated by the abundance of ads during the PLEs has to be loving this show, though, this far. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point, too. Since this was not on ESPN, the lack of ads felt refreshing, although it shouldn't. We're not, as a wrestling fan, and I'm sure you would agree, we should not just get used to the ads. And that's what they're counting on, that we initially have pushback. They expect the pushback, but just like everything else in this world, we just get used to it. And we just, well, whatever, fine. That's the attitude they are hoping we have. But we need to stay steadfast. We need to continue to voice our displeasure with this ad block bullshit. Again, Saturday night's main event was a nice refresh, but it reminds you what PLEs should feel like. So Clash in Italy, when we get it again and again and again, tell TKO and their money-hungry executives to go fuck themselves that we didn't pay a premium to just watch more ads. And I will never invest in anybody that advertises on that show out of spite. I hope their sponsors know that. So, it was nice from a production standpoint. There were fewer ads in the ring. The Saturday night main event logo was the largest logo in the ring. That was nice. I'm a fan of just nothing in the ring, but if we're going to have something, at least make it wrestling related. That was good. So this matchup was good. And yes, the teaser for Flair and Rhea didn't get a big reaction. But that's because, again, Flair has been redefined successfully in the minds of fans as kind of a little more humble, a little more subdued version of Charlotte Flair. She's now become a tag team partner with Bliss, and they've done an excellent job. But I think it's time for Charlotte to step out of the shadows. I mean, I would like it sooner than later, but it depends when they want to go to Flair and Jade. Do they want to go there SummerSlam? Do they want to go there at WrestleMania? Whenever it is, I would agree this was an underwhelming spot. The crowd reaction was kind of meh. But that's, again, because Flair has been, I guess, subjugated to this tag team player and hasn't been a big factor in the minds of fans for quite some time. She hasn't got a ton of mic time. She's this happy-go-lucky, bestie of Alexa, and they have good chemistry, and it's been fun. But it's getting to the point, and maybe you agree or don't, but I think it's time for Charlotte to step out in the next, sooner than later, but at least in the next 6 months. Become a main player again. And I think that'll do her wonders. All right. It's a good match. I would agree. We then get the Women's Intercontinental Championship, Becky Lynch and Sol Ruca in a non-title match. Jessica Carr was the referee. Keep that in mind. So, this was bad. Sol Ruca. Okay, let's get to it. The match ended by DQ in 2 minutes and 25 seconds. And that was because we had Lynch go to the floor. Ruca runs up the ring post and pushed off to hit a moonsault on Lynch. But back in the ring, Ruca, this description's not correct, but we had Jessica Carr get pulled into the Soul Snatcher and Lynch shoved Carr into it. So this was a bad spot. The description of this on Pro Wrestling Net is just not worded right. It's all over the place. It's using the wrong names. It was probably being written as it was happening and wasn't edited. But basically, Becky pulled Jessica Carr into the Soul Snatch and bam, looked horrible. I'm not blaming this on Jessica Carr. She's not an in-ring performer, although maybe they're actually training her to become one at some point. Maybe they are, and that's the plan. Jessica Carr has been teased at so many different levels of her and Becky Lynch having a program, and maybe that's the direction they're headed. There's a lot of evidence for that now, but that was a bad spot. I would blame this a lot on Sol Ruca, who continues to just show she's green. She's got a lot of energy, and I think she needs to slow down and focus, coming from an outsider here, but that was a bit of a botch there, and people are actually speculating whether or not Jessica Carr is truly injured. She may be. Reports are conflicting. I've seen both. Either way, this should point to a Becky Lynch and Jessica Carr matchup, I would think. And Jessica Carr should get the huge reaction there. How many times do you see these days referees come out of their refereeing role to be in a match? I don't know. The last time that happened, I really don't. So this should be fun. I would think that's where they're headed. But this was a bad, just not a good segment for a Saturday night main event. And I can't believe they did this finish at a Saturday night main event. This is a finish you do at a house show. Okay. By the way, what did Pro Wrestling Net say about this? Boy, I'm giving them a lot of promotion. They said, I'm fine with Lynch getting DQ, but the brief match time was disappointing. I suppose this moves them a step closer to Lynch versus Carr, but Ruca's character will seek revenge first. Yeah, okay. So nothing earth-shattering there. The next match, Penta versus Ethan Page for the Intercontinental Championship. This match went 14 and a half minutes. Now, look. While Becky Lynch was not putting her championship on the line, she's still the Intercontinental Champion. She gets 2.5 minutes. Penta, on the other hand, as the Intercontinental Champion, gets 14 and a half minutes. And I'm not sitting here trying to defend and be some male feminist of, women should always get the exact same time as men. No, because I'm a very firm believer and will always be that you earn your time. You earn it. You shouldn't be given it because you're just born a certain sex. You earn it, period. That's how I feel about the world. Because of your ethnic group, racial group, sex, you aren't just born a victim or a victimizer. That's what a lot of the people in this world would like to do, is to subcategorize people into victim and non-victim groups, and victim oppressor groups and all that kind of bullshit. So that's not the role I'm playing here. However, this is a bit of a striking difference here, where you get a one Intercontinental champion getting 2.5 minutes, and then the counterpart champion getting 14.5 minutes. Kind of weird. I did not like that, because I think Becky and Sol Ruca didn't get a chance to show what they can do. And I think that was a bit of a shame. You could have given a few minutes back here to Becky and Jessica and Sol Ruca. But okay, this match was really good. I enjoyed the hell out of it. And Penta retains after having, Penta avoiding Paige, who crashed into the exposed turnbuckle that was pulled off. And Penta executed a springboard Mexican Destroyer and gets the 3 counts, with Penta retaining the Intercontinental Championship. And the match was really good. These two work very well together. Youth, charisma. I think Ethan Page he's poised, honestly, to be a larger success than people look at right now. I think he's a sleeper. I see talent there that I know a lot of people aren't talking about. Hell, I haven't talked about him much on my show. But I think there's something there that he's got that it. And if they give him enough time in the ring and on the microphone over the summer and into the fall, I could see him being a pretty big time player heading into Survivor Series and Rumble. I'm not saying he's going to be world champion or win the Rumble or win Survivor Series. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying I think that people are, in most minds of the fan, the typical fan, I think you're kind of looking at this going, oh yeah, he's a nice hand. He works well. He's just kind of another one of these young athletic guys that puts on a good match. But that's what I think is the difference here is, yes, he does all that, but there's more to him, and you can see it. And I'm just hopeful for him. I also think just generally with the wrestling industry today, that's something you don't want to be branded as. And there's a lot of in the wrestling industry today is you have a lot of youth and athleticism, and it feels like everybody's putting on the same kind of match, doing the same moves. You have to stand out in some way. The business has transitioned younger, smaller, and more athletic. And while that has its upsides of being quote unquote better matches, what is suffering, because there's always going to be something that balances this out, is character development. You have weaker characters, generic music, generic promos. Everybody feels like they've been cut from the same cloth. They all went through the same training academy, which most did if you had to go to NXT. And it feels like that's where they all came from. And I don't want that to be the case. I want somebody to feel like they've been cut from a different kind of cloth. Like they didn't actually go through WWE's developmental system. I know that WWE has its own way of doing things and they're stuck to it. And I understand why. But I at least want to be fooled into thinking somebody is an outsider. That somebody is not really a WWE guy. They're here for themselves. They're not here to push the... Do you know what I mean? I'm talking to nobody, but expecting an answer. That's how I felt about wrestling. The way that the matches are structured. Again, the athleticism has never been better. But it does feel like a bit of a gymnastics version of professional wrestling, a gymnastics presentation of pro wrestling for a very long time. And while, it is entertaining on a certain level because you're seeing moves you've never seen, the athleticism that you've never seen, all the rest, again, it comes at the expense of character development, believability, and actual selling. I think those are the things that have been missing from wrestling. And when I say selling, I don't mean registering. There's a difference. Registering means you're in the match. If you get hit in the face, you'll register and show that you got hit in the face, but you don't sell it. You don't sell the pain. You don't bring the fans into the pain that you're experiencing, the joy you're experiencing, the anger you're experiencing. And I think that is what's really lost. It almost doesn't matter what moves that are happening in the ring because everybody sells the moves kind of the same way. You're just like down, you're exhausted, but you don't sell the body part. Yeah, you don't sell whatever happened to heels targeting a body part. It's formulaic, but it works. Whatever happened to heels attacking a limb of a wrestler, a babyface. Attacking the limb. The babyface gets, struggling to overcome. Get that hope spot, and then down they go again. Get that hope spot, down they go again. Finally, they pull out a victory. Again, I know it sounds like a match you've seen before, but that hasn't been used in quite a while. Instead of, it's just this athletic showmanship. That's what's been, that's what wrestling has evolved into. So I know that's just the product today, but let's continue. Really good match, by the way. I enjoyed this. Penta winning was good. Good for Penta, good for Ethan Page. Then we have Brie and Paige versus the Irresistible Forces, Nia Jax and Lash Legend for the women's tag team titles. The match went 8.5 minutes with Brie and Paige winning. They retained. Why? Well, it's kind of weird here. Jax tags in. The challengers hit their finish, but Paige dropkicks Legend, causing her to crash into Jax and break up the pin. Brie crawled to her corner and tagged out. Paige went up top and dove onto Jax, who caught her, but Paige countered with a sunset flip, and Brie used her legs to add leverage while Paige pinned Jax. So kind of cheating to win, I guess, but Jax loses here for her team. I mean, it was okay. I really don't feel the chemistry with Brie and Paige at all. I like Nia Jax and Lash Legend together. I don't think they've gotten enough time to really develop as a team. I hope they continue to go down that path of making them a dominant team. But you got to have them start winning and winning decisively, as if no one can stop them. I really wish that the Irresistible Forces were still tag team champions. I don't like that they lost the belts for a lot of reasons. One, again, I like the Irresistible Forces as a team. They have chemistry. They look dominant. They should be that heel force that just no one seemingly can stop. I also don't like Paige being in the tag team division at all. It's, I think, suffocating her progress and her return. It's suffocating her excitement. I also don't like Brie Bella at all. I mean, I'm not a fan of the Bellas, as you know. That's number 3. Number 4, again, Paige and Brie don't have any chemistry. It doesn't feel right. They've just kind of been thrown together. I'm not buying the chemistry because they don't have any. So again, not a horrible match, just a match that I go, whatever. And that's the way that also Pro Wrestling Net looked at the match too. They said a forgettable match. I'm over the Paige and Brie alliance, and it seems I'm not alone considering how tame the live crowd was during the match. Yeah, there's. I did not read this review before I gave mine. I promise I'm not just duplicating what they say, but I concur with it. It's just there's nothing there. They're just empty as a team. I don't hate them as a team, being Brie and Paige, but they're just like empty vessels as a team. In the crowd, you can hear them. Every time Brie and Paige are in the ring, they're like, they are much, much better apart, particularly Paige, than they are together. They're oil and vinegar, or oil and water, I should say. They don't work. So, yeah, I would totally agree with that. Okay. We have then more hype for Clash in Italy on next Sunday, 2 o'clock Eastern time. Weird, right? They officially added Rhea and Jade for the WWE Women's Championship and Obafemi and Brock Lesnar 2 for Clash in Italy. So that's not waiting for SummerSlam, is not waiting for WrestleMania, is not waiting for anything other than next Sunday. That's your match. It's a highly anticipated rematch. I've gone over why I love this. I actually am a big proponent of Brock Lesnar Obafemi Part 2. It is strange that they're doing it this quickly. It tells you that they didn't feel confident in the card, maybe trying to push ticket sales even further. All the above, probably. But Brock Lesnar Obafemi's happening again. And I'm all for it. That does now tell me that Brock could be open for SummerSlam in Minneapolis against Gunther. That then tells me, too, if we're playing this game, that Gunther is not winning the WWE Undisputed Championship from Cody Rhodes, because Gunther's not going into SummerSlam as champion to face Brock Lesnar as champion. That ain't happening, because we know Brock Lesnar is probably officially retiring for good at SummerSlam in Minneapolis, and he's not winning the belt, so why bring Gunther into the fold if that's going to be the very predictable outcome? So kind of two birds here with the Brock Lesnar Obafemi matchup. You can infer the next few events pretty accurately, I believe. All right. Continuing, there's some interviews backstage with Paul Heyman. I'm going to skip over here, but we have Logan Paul and Austin Theory versus Street Profits for the World Tag Team titles. This is the main event, and the match, went 16 and a half minutes with the Street Profits. Logan Paul and Austin Theory defeating the Street Profits to retain the tag titles. And the finish was Ford running, jumping off the ring steps. Logan stepped in, hit him with the brass knucks behind the referee's back. Logan rolled Ford back inside the ring, and then Dawkins hit Logan with a flip dive, but Theory got the 3 count on Ford. 1, 2, 3. And Breaker comes in, spears Dawkins, followed up with another spear on Ford. He kipped up, exited the ring, and then Heyman stood on the apron as Breaker entered the ring and raised the arms of the Vision to close the show. This was, if you're going to look at the 5 matches and how they all performed, this was the main event of Saturday night's main event. They correctly booked this as the main event. It was really good. It was really good. Given the athletic ability of all 4 men, this better have been really good, and it was. There are reports coming out that Logan Paul is injured, something with his knee. Hopefully not. The Vision does not need any more injuries, but that could be the case here with Logan Paul. But the match was really good. I think the right team won. We don't need the smoke. And also don't forget with Bianca Belair going out with her hiatus and her injury that lasted 6.5 years, and then she's pregnant. You know that Angelo Dawkins is going to be taking time off, and if he's taking time off, likely they don't want a tag team champion taking a ton of time off. And hey, on top of the fact that the Street Profits are just not that interesting anymore, from an in-ring, they're really good. It's just that they've been together way too long, and the split for Montez Ford should have happened 5 years ago. But the match, boy, they can still deliver, can't they? They can still deliver a great match, and these 4 men deserve a standing ovation. They just did a great job. They did a really good job. And Breaker, of course, being the final image, the lasting image of Saturday night's main event. Is that really surprising? Not really. Breaker is the guy that is likely going to be a heavy favorite. It's an early call, very early, but a heavy favorite already for the Royal Rumble 2027 winner. We'll see. But a good match. And a good, I did not hate this show. There's a lot of people who are shitting on this show. A lot of people crapping on it and saying that, this is a very frustrating. I've seen so many streamers. It's a frustrating show. Why? Yeah, Becky Lynch and Sol Ruca was a disaster. Fine. But the other matches generally were pretty good. And that's what you should expect at this point from a Saturday night main event. No entertainment-y stuff, just wrestling. Remember how we used to watch wrestling to watch wrestling? Well, you're getting it here with Saturday night main event. And the ads, few and far between. It's about wrestling. They may not have the biggest names, and maybe that's what people are like hanging on to, is that the names of the people, the star power is low. But We've been shown that the Saturday night main event lineups are low in star power. It's almost as if it's a PLE for star building. It's the PLE light for stars for WWE to showcase their stars. That's what it feels like. It's low on star power, heavy on wrestling. And that's not a bad thing. You need that. The name of Saturday Night Main Event is a bit deceiving because it's really not the main event if you truly had your whole roster available, but fine. If they want to use this as a pure wrestling, less talking, no nonsense show, let's do it. I'm all for it. I mean, I find it a little overwhelming with the number of shows WWE has over the last couple of years. With every 2 weeks there's a PLE and the Saturday Night Main Events and all the rest. But overall, as a concept, Saturday Night Main Event, no problem. All right. So, what do I want to talk about next? Now that I've cranked out the Saturday Night Main Event review, I do want to talk about, let's see, there's a couple things. There is a SmackDown commentary I did not provide, and Amanda did a nice job of giving her own, as always. So I want to go through SmackDown a little bit, and then we can touch on, of course, other stuff. So on SmackDown, there was the first match here of Shinsuke and Tala Tonga that went 9.5 minutes. And Tala beats Shinsuke, and as he should, based on just kind of momentum of who they're pushing at the current moment and who they're not. Tala gets the victory. And then after the match, Solo set up for a Samoan spike and said, Thomas stopped him and said, "What the hell are you doing?" And, well, Solo did. And they ended up embracing. There wasn't a really issue, kind of teasing a split here as if we needed another Samoan split. I think we've seen enough of those to last a lifetime. But Damian Priest comes out to no reaction, just none. And he came with a chair, and they all ran, scattered like mice, as Priest checked on Nakamura. And Damian Priest is he's an interesting case study. He's a guy that it took so long to get where he was and to get to the position he was. And I continue to say, and I stand by, he did a great job as world champion. We all knew he was a transitional champion. We all knew he was going to drop it within a few months, and he did. But I really enjoyed him as world champion. I think he did a fantastic job. And then after he had his kind of rebound, if you will, story with Rhea Ripley as the Terror Twins, he went into oblivion. And so I don't know what they're doing with Damian Priest. It's encouraging that he's at least still on TV. But we know what he's capable of. He can get a good reaction. He was part of the Judgment Day at its peak. Again, did I think a very good job as world champion. Felt like a champion. And then he's just gone. And he's doing, he's coming out to no reaction. They got to do something with him. They are missing out on Damian Priest right now. Because we know more is there. So we got some hype for Reigns and Fatu in the tribal combat for the Clash in Italy. And some more backstage stuff. Tiffany Stratton and Lash Legend for the Women's U.S. Championship. The match went 9 minutes with Tiffany retaining. She got a roll-up victory. And again, not the smoothest match in the world. Tiffany Stratton has also really fallen from grace since her time as women's champion. But, her and Chelsea Green have a nice chemistry. She's still a star in the making. So I'm willing to kind of roll with that. We then have the broadcast team discuss Brock Lesnar's return on Monday and said that how they would show the footage later in the show. And so fine. We got some hype for SummerSlam in Minneapolis. Yeah, so they're hyping PLE after PLE. And they didn't even get through Saturday Night Main Event yet. But continuing, we had some Miz stuff. I'm only going to the matches here. We got Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes. The match went 13 minutes with Trick Williams beating Carmelo Hayes after getting hit with a trick shot. And Ricky Saints was at ringside, by the way, and had a say in the finish. So I guess Trick Williams is a babyface. I guess that's officially the categorization of Trick Williams. But Melo's also a babyface, and now Ricky Saints is in the mix, and I'm not sure what to really say about it. But Sami Zayn was shown walking backstage, by the way, after this, and he was swatting bottles off the table and just being a big baby, which is where he's really headed, and that's fine. We'll have more to say about him in a minute. The women's champion Rhea and Charlotte take on Fallon Henley and Lainey Reed with JC Jane. And the match went 11 minutes with Rhea and Charlotte defeating them. And Ripley wasn't thrilled about Flair stealing the victory, but she seemed like she was going to accept it when Jade and her crew attacked her, Flair, and Bliss. And we ended up having Jade hit Jaded on Ripley, which also was foreshadowing to what happened last night at Saturday Night's Main Event. So we have then, Solo Sikoa take on Damian Priest. Solo wins in 10 minutes after hitting the Samoan Spike. And then we have, Tama attacked Priest afterwards. Royce Keys, who got no reaction. But again, how could he? He's a new guy to the roster. He has had zero development, zero connection with the fans. It is not unexpected for him to come out and have just nothing. Of course. But he came out and put down Tama and then cleared Tala from the ring. He stared down Solo, but Solo thought wiser of the decision and left. And that was that. Okay. More promo for Monday night. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. I don't mean to be going through this too quickly, but this is not a full SmackDown review, just kind of my highlights here. We then have the final match of the night. Cody Rhodes and Sami Zayn in a non-title match that went 12 minutes with Cody Rhodes winning. And after the match, we had Gunther appear. Gunther appears, attacks Cody. Sami thought better of trying to help Cody and then just left. I enjoyed this. Zayn's character continues to head down the right path. He's heading down a path where he's not turning quickly. It's an evolution. Sometimes heel turns can be sudden and effective and jarring. Sami's it's been an evolution for months now. And it's being told really well. Cody's still a sympathetic babyface somehow. Gunther attacks him from behind. Cody, the fans are trying to will Sami to help out Cody, and Sami stood there and watched. He just watched and then left. That was good. It's good storytelling. It's good psychology. It's how you turn someone dark. It's how you start to organically, not shockingly, but just kind of naturally progress somebody to the dark side. And they're doing a nice job with it. I have no issues with it. So, a good SmackDown leading into a good, just pure wrestling. If you look at it through the lens of just wrestling, a good Saturday night main event. No issues with that. And I think we're all set for Monday night. Now, no CM Punk. CM Punk, from what we understand from the reports, is just waiting on creative to give him something. If that's the case, I think that's good. CM Punk needs rest from, I think, a physical and mental standpoint. He's been going hard at his age for several months now. It also gives the fans time to take a breather from Punk and reset and miss him and wonder what's next, what's going on. That's a good thing. Time off can be magical. And I think for CM Punk, it'll be no different. But yeah, so no Punk. Brock Lesnar, I don't know if he's scheduled to appear on Monday night. I'm not sure. But let's see here. I'm trying to find a current list of matches for the Clash in Italy event. So here's what they are right now. Right now we have 5 matches, much like Saturday night's main event. And They are Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar, which I believe will open the show and be that free hour that WWE hopes you purchase the ESPN Unlimited package for, so you watch the rest of the matches. But we also have the Women's Intercontinental Championship, Becky Lynch versus Sol Ruca, which hopefully is not 2.5 minutes. The Women's Championship, Rhea Ripley taking on Jade Cargill. The World Heavyweight Championship in a tribal combat match, Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu. And then in the main event, the Undisputed Championship, Cody Rhodes taking on Gunther. So a fun matchup here. You know what would be even more fun? And here's my small prediction, because I didn't really analyze these matches yet. I'll give you my official predictions later this week. My prediction is Brock Lesnar and Gunther will subtly run into each other backstage at the event. There'll be a quick little glance. Maybe Brock walks by and Gunther, as he's cutting a promo, just kind of looks at Lesnar as he walks by, or vice versa. That's how I feel like it shouldn't be something jarring, because they have their own matches to worry about that night. But it could be a nice foreshadowing to what's going to occur at SummerSlam, which is how it should end. It fits Gunther. All the pieces of the puzzle fit. It's in Minneapolis. It's at a major PLE. Brock Lesnar's already ready to retire. We've known that for a while now. Gunther has been making a name for himself of retiring or winning the retirement matches of legends. So this would fit perfectly with Gunther's, with his whole character build, with what he's trying to do. I think this is just, it's a match made in heaven. All right, let's switch gears to one story, and then we will close the show out. To my favorite topic, the Bellas. This is actually on Fox News. It's not a wrestling website. It's not The Torch. It's not Wrestling Net. It's not Wrestling Inc. It's not Fightful. It's not whatever. No, this is on Fox, so it's kind of interesting. And this was published today, actually this morning, as I record this. I'll get it out. And the title of this article says, WWE Hall of Famer Nikki Bella opens up about what she wants fans to remember her for when she retires. And here is what she said. Former Hall of Famer Nikki Bella suggested in an interview with Fox News Digital that her championship accolades should be put aside. Using her voice to have an effect on someone watching her in an arena or at home is more important. This is what she said. Quote, I would love definitely to be remembered as fearless, as someone who wasn't scared to use her voice, someone who wasn't scared to pave the ways, someone who wasn't scared to stand up to all the hate, who can still be her even when people try to tear you down. Bella said, who became the chief margarita officer from Madame Paleta Tequila, whatever, earlier in the week. What I've realized, and this is in any industry, and this is throughout time, it's never easy to be first or to be the loudest about something. And there's so many people who helped pave the way before us, but when you're at the forefront or when you're at the face of that, you take on everything that comes with it. Hate, love, support, everything. I think that's where I truly live up to being fearless Nikki. I just don't stop. Even when I'm not at my best or when I'm at my greatest, I hope at the end of the day, people can look back and respect that too. Even the ones who can be so disrespectful, they see things in such a different way and they really just don't know. I hope to be remembered as that over anything. What? She's got a lot of words to say so few things. I mean, I could boil this down to, I want people to remember me for being me. That's kind of it. There's nothing here that's transformational or revolutionary. She didn't pave anything. She's not out there paving any roads for anyone. She says, well, in this industry, I've realized it's not easy to be first or to be the loudest. Nikki, you weren't the first or about anything. You weren't the first to do anything. Yeah, there were people that paved the way before you, and there was love, hate, support. Okay, that goes with just anything in life. no matter what profession you are a part of, especially if you're a public figure. That just comes with the territory. So congrats on just doing your job. Yeah, okay, when you're not at your best or when you're at your greatest, I hope at the end of the day, people can look back and respect that too. What are you talking about? You just don't stop. You don't stop what? Doing your job? What don't you stop doing that we're supposed to be admiring? Please show your work. Then when you're at school and you have a math problem and it says, solve for X, and then in parentheses, show your work. Well, I don't want you to just solve for X, Nikki. I want you to show your work on this one. What are we supposed to be admiring? That you dealt with criticism? Oh, you mean just like anyone that's been a human ever? How do we manage it? Maybe we should get a podcast like you do and go and just talk about it. Maybe we'll talk about those disrespectful men that you love so much. Your core fan base, by the way. So, yeah, there's nothing here. There's nothing here. Now, she stressed, however, the impact she made was held in high regard above everything else. Was it? Let's continue. She says, quote, I get some people get hooked on champion numbers like 13-time, 10-time, 5-time. For me, it's always been about the impact. And if the people tuning in, I was able to change some people's lives. Maybe they were raised in a not great home and I gave them the ability to be fearless and to use their voice to know they can be someone great, you could be someone great one day. To me, that's being a champion, and that's what I love to do more than anything. I look at my Bella Army and they are my true accomplishment. That's better than any championship I could. What Bella Army? What imaginary fan base does she have? I would venture to guess, I could be wrong, that while this is admirable, by the way, it is, she's saying the right things. She's just delusional, or she's lying, or both. There was probably no one watching her do her thing saying, oh, you know what? I had no confidence in who I was. I wasn't going to try this new thing in my life. I wasn't going to try this new career path or speak out against this. But God damn it, Nikki Bella. I saw her on Raw and I said to myself, that is inspirational. That is one forward-thinking woman right there. I'm going to do it, damn it. There's no one that reacted that way to Nikki's character. No one. But in her mind, I think that there probably was someone floating around somewhere that maybe some paid actress or something. I mean, I'm sorry. Look, I don't think she was really, I really don't think, despite all my criticism, I don't think she was that bad in the ring, but she's largely forgettable. They're best known for just being twins. And she got dumped by John Cena. That's her biggest claim to fame. Whether she wants to believe it or not, no one's worried about her championships. She's not being remembered for being fearless for anything. She's a privileged public star making a lot of money, best known for being dumped by John Cena. That's it. She would never agree with that, obviously. But she's high on her own supply. I don't even think she believes herself. All right. So I thought I'd leave you with that. I thought I'd leave you up on a high note. Giving you the positives of the day. Definitely with Nikki Bella. Anytime you hear Nikki Bella's name and I'm on the show, it's going to be a good time or one that you've already tuned out for. Either way, hope you've enjoyed the show. The videos will be coming this week, guys. I had a event over the weekend. I was a bit overwhelmed the last couple of days with things going on, but we're back in the saddle. And as I said, a lot going on this week, as you know, wrestling wise. And then we're already into June in a week. I'm telling you, you're going to blink and summer's over. And then here comes football, which I'm sure many of you are happy about anyway. So I will leave it there. We'll be back very soon. Videos, Monday Night Raw reviews, main event reviews. NXT reviews, predictions, all the rest are coming your way. So stay tuned for that. If you want to go ad-free, patreon.com/WWE podcast, or you can just give us a 5-star rating on Apple or Spotify. That would also help us too. Everybody, enjoy the rest of your Memorial Day weekend, and I'll talk soon.
Thanks for listening to the WWE podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast app so you don't miss a show, or head to WWEpodcast.com. And for all of these shows ad-free, head over to patreon.com/WWE podcast. Until then, we'll see you next time.